Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to the second edition of Jays Talkin. I'm Matt and my co-host Andrew, and we're here to talk a little baseball from our living rooms to yours. Today's guest, pitcher in the Blue Jays organization, minor league relief pitcher of the year. Please welcome Jackson Reese. Jackson, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Very good.
We're surviving, Jackson. We're surviving without baseball. I know it's a little hard for you without baseball right now.
How's it been in quarantine?
It's been interesting. I've been doing some garage workouts, kind of just throwing very lightly to almost like acting like it's the off season pretty much right now. Other than that, trying to like just get outside as much as possible, but not like near people. So I'll just go in the backyard and get some sun. I'll go walk the dogs, trying to keep my like 6 feet from people. Sometimes the grocery store runs are like the most exciting thing of my day.
So true.
Yeah.
Are you throwing any sliders to your dad in the backyard or anything?
Not yet. I'm just kind of trying to keep my arm healthy and fresh, because I know they'll probably give us like some days to like get back into everything. So I'm kind of not like trying to keep myself into like season mode, because I want to keep my arm fresh for when we get back into it.
For sure. What other activities have you been doing outside of baseball during this time?
Pretty much just going on some drives. A lot of my neighbors have been going on a lot of drives. Like my neighbors across the street, they live in Idlewild, and sometimes they'll go on like an hour-and-a-half drive because they're a little older. So they'll like make sure that they get out of the house some way. So I've been doing some drives. Obviously, I got an Xbox, so that usually keeps my attention pretty sane. I watch Tiger King. Netflix has been big. Just anything that I can do to like stay away from people so I don't catch it and potentially spread it to my family. So that's pretty much my thing I've been doing.
Do you have any favorite video game you're playing right now, or?
Pretty much just COD, the new one, COD, Modern Warfare, Warzone. Pretty much been the go-to, trying to get better at that.
What was your first gaming system ever that you had?
I think it was either I got into it later. All my friends had it, so I never bought one. But I think I got either PS2 or a GameCube. Can't remember first, but I always remember being like the PS2. I think actually the PS1. I think PS1 was my first one.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Way back.
Way back.
PlayStation 2 is still one of my the best consoles ever made in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Remember that vividly. All the games I used to play. It was so much fun.
Have you been watching any of the classic games that have been on, whether it be Blue Jays games or any games of like Angels or Dodgers, since you're in California?
Well, since every time I go on the news, it's like coronavirus, I kind of stayed away from TV. But I definitely do like to watch the highlights. I think the Blue Jays have been posting like the World Series games. Yep. And those have been kind of fun to like watch. I haven't watched the entire thing in its entirety, but like just to like take some peeks at it. Really cool to see like the history and all the exciting games, like how crazy those games can get in the Toronto Stadium. That would be one of the things I've been watching for sure.
And then we have to ask, just because you had one of the best walk-up songs last year. How do you choose a walk-up song, and do you have one ready to go for this upcoming season whenever?
I don't know how you choose it. You kind of just like put on a playlist that you like all the songs you like, and you just kind of just like one will just hit you like a rock. It'll just like hit you and you're like, that's it. That's the one I want. Obviously with being on the Blue Jays, it's a little easier. You sometimes kind of go towards the guy that's maybe Canada born and raised, and that obviously Drake is an easy one to choose from because he's so popular and so big. But I think this year I'm trying to figure out one, but I'm thinking I like the start of Blue World by Mac Miller. I think I gotta listen to it. It's weird because you listen to it in headphones and you're like, oh, this is great, and then you listen to it like at a stadium and you're like, maybe not. So I think it definitely would be a trial process to figure out one, but I think that's the one I'm leaning towards because just Mac Miller is great, and always like listening to his music.
Yeah, he had that album out a couple years ago, right before his passing. That was just awesome. Yeah, it had a ton of hits on there, Ladders, and loved
Yeah.
that record, man. That was
Yeah.
a great record, and good one. Just good chill record, and he's also got some really good vibing songs on there. It's great.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely want to like get out in the mountain, listen to something for me that doesn't like gets you pumped, but not like doesn't get you crazy. Because I definitely like to be like I'm a more mellow guy, so I like to get my energy up, but I don't like to just like get it to the point where I'm doing something more than what's out of my boundaries. So having a mellow song that also gets you pumped is usually right down the alleyway for me.
And I think they should do some kind of survey with major league and minor league players. How many guys pick Drake songs? I swear Drake was the hot commodity last year for anybody in the majors or the minor leagues trying with a walk up song.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. As soon as he pulls out an album, someone's got to have a walk up song from it. So,
and I swear you were the one last year who did that. I think it was right after the Raptors one. You were here. And you wanted money in the grave, and we were happy to oblige with that one.
Yeah, definitely. As that song just came out, and I just got promoted, and I was like, what better timing can you pick, I guess? So
you were born in Aliso Viejo. I said that right?
Yep, got it.
In California. When did you know baseball was the sport that you wanted to play and the sport for you?
I played a lot of sports. I played soccer, I think was my first sport, and then at one point, I was doing soccer, baseball, and basketball at the Aliso Viejo Little League, playing just because it was fun. And then by the time like 8th grade, high school started coming around, I decided that like I got to pick one. I can't really just be like a two-way athlete because sometimes that works, and then sometimes you kind of just like don't you're 100% in one or the other. It's just kind of like, and so I just kind of picked baseball and thought baseball is good for me. I like it. I'm at the time I was good, so I was like, oh, might as well not ruin my shot at potential future offerings and go that route, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Was
it important for you to play more than one sport in high school, or do you think that a lot of the kids nowadays, because I know it's a lot of kids play one or two sports, but was it very important for you to play 3 or 4 different ones in when you were growing up, or did you just prefer playing one sport?
Definitely think multiple sports helped me a lot. You learn a lot of different things. You use a lot of different muscle groups. So you start getting like a secondhand nature of like all these different movements. Like even soccer helped, even it sounds funny, it helps you run. So like you're running a lot in soccer. So next thing you know, you can play outfield a little bit better, or you can run the bases a little bit faster, or you can steal a bag because now your fast twitch muscles and your legs are working differently in soccer. And same thing with basketball. Now you're fast twitch left and right. You're trying to like juke someone out, or you're trying to get past someone. Now in baseball, when you're trying to run a base, or when you're trying to make that quick decision on a ground ball, going left and right, maybe it likes a funny hop. Now you can stop and go the other direction. So I definitely think that sports all over the place, even if it's not soccer, basketball, it's other ones like volleyball, they all help each other out, whether that's like the little things like endurance or all that stuff. So I definitely like to think that playing multiple sports helped me in the long run, and definitely would encourage others to play multiple sports for sure.
Now, did you have any favorite players growing up? You're in California, you got a lot of different teams to choose from. Who were your favorite ball players growing up when you were younger?
Definitely, I was a Jared Weaver fan. That was pretty big. He was funky. He had all this crazy stuff. He had the crazy, like, would step 5 feet to the right and then twist back to the left, and just went to Long Beach, and just was one of my bigger pitching inspirations for sure. Because I was like, he can do all this crazy stuff, throw hard, and still be effective and crazy and wonky, I guess. So that was definitely one of the guys. Obviously, I actually liked watching Vladdy Guerrero. He was pretty big, so it was like kind of cool that his son now is on the team. So I was like, watched his dad playing, remembered him hitting a home run off a ball that hit the dirt, and then next thing you know, like you're playing with his sons, like crazy.
Yeah, so you were a big Angels guy growing up. You said you played a little outfield when you were younger. Tim Salmon, you liked some of those catches that Tim Salmon had back in the day. He was all
Definitely.
over the place, man. He'd climb up
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah, definitely great guy to look up to if you're an outfielder for sure, and just overall good guy in general. So yeah, it was fun watching him. I think he does like the pre and post game show, so get some like cool perspective on the game when I was growing up from an actual legend. So that was always fun.
Yeah, and did you play? You played some outfield when you were younger. How good of a center fielder were you?
I wasn't the fastest, but I could catch up ground because I was so tall with my long legs. So usually I would be able to get to the ball no matter where it was. And I like to think I had a great arm, but some of these guys that I played high school with, they had cannons. They could throw the ball from the outfield wall all the way to home plate on like one hop. And I'm just like trying my best. But I think overall I was a pretty good outfielder. Not like Mike Trout or anything, but definitely like a B plus outfielder. I don't
When did you transition to pitcher before, after all this and just said, all right, I'm going to focus on being a pitcher? Was that in high school, or did you do that a lot in college?
It was a little bit in high school. So my first year, I didn't make varsity, and I was just a pitcher and hitter. And then we had like a coaching change my sophomore through senior year. And I think I just pitched my sophomore year and my junior year. And then I decided that I kind of liked the aspect of both, and I thought I could help the team out my senior year. So we switched over, and I was both outfielder and pitcher. I think I can't remember my stats, but I did pretty well both categories. And then junior college came, and I just became a PO for the 3 years I was there, and then just a PO in college at Hawaii the 2 years I was there. So pretty much senior year is my last hurrah, and then it's just pitcher life, baby.
So speaking of high school, you had an awesome team there in 2013 with the Laguna Beach High School, the Breakers. You went to the 2013 Orange Coast League. You guys won that as a senior. You went 10-0. You tied the school record for wins and most wins by an undefeated pitcher. How much did it mean to you to win the league championship in your senior year, man?
It was huge. We wanted to go out with like a bang. We wish we would have gone farther in the CIF playoffs, but overall we were just so happy because we had this huge team. We were all there from our freshman to senior year, obviously, and we just had this like huge bond that we had, and we grew together so much. And then by senior year, we were just so happy to just win league, and it was just a huge moment for all of us because we all worked so hard, and our coaches were so good to us. So we were just happy to give them something and ourselves a huge accomplishment to put on our wall.
And I just read something else not too long, right before the interview, setting more school records. You guys won 20 consecutive games that season, 20 consecutive.
Yeah.
That dugout must have been lit up every time. You guys must have been on fire every one of those games.
We had a great season. We kind of just felt like we were steamrolling everyone. The camaraderie was high. We were just going crazy. Like every game, we just had this like huge build of confidence. And yeah, we realized that many games, it kind of just like flew by because we were having so much fun.
So we usually do, going back to your younger days, we usually do a reading program every year here with the schools in the area. Do you have any favorite books when you were a kid? What were the books you were reading when you were a youngster?
I definitely remember Holes. That was always a good one. And then obviously the Harry Potters, Goosebumps were one of those like, oh my God, like gotta keep reading. Pretty much those were like the staples. I'm trying to think of some others. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was a book that I used to read. Now it's into an actual movie that's like super cool. So I like that a lot.
Yep. So you also hit, with the 10-0 record, now we're going back to high school with the 10-0 record in high school. You hit 377 your senior year. When was the last time you swung a bat? Do pitchers take BP in the minor leagues at all, or do you guys into the cage, or what?
We're definitely always hunting for pitchers BP. We're always like, if we throw a shutout, can we get pitchers BP? All that stuff. But I think the last time is pretty much in junior college and at Hawaii. If we threw a shutout, we would get pitchers BP like the next week or the next day. And so we did it a couple times at Saddleback, and that was always fun, just ripping balls that the coach was throwing BP to us, or eventually he'd have a player throw us. But yeah, it's just college and high school and junior college. And then I don't think I've swung a bat since being picked up. I know I've like swung some in the cages, but not like any official BP. I don't know if they just want us to. I'm sure someone's gonna swing and get hurt, and then that'll be awful. So sometimes pitchers are not as athletic as we want to be in the batter's box, but we try.
Hey, I mean, you got CC Sabathia. He was always great in the batter's box. You have a couple of these guys you have a couple of these pitchers who can rake.
Yeah.
And then a final question, and this is a personal question I got to ask because I remember the show being such a huge hit. Do people still talk about the Laguna Beach show at Laguna Beach High School? And was that a big?
Not as much. I think my sister, she's 5 years older than me. I think that was more of a big bump for that grade because they were like a part of that. But yeah, I've definitely had some like people go, "Where are you from?" And I say Laguna Beach because no one knows where Aliso Viejo is. And then when I say Laguna Beach, everyone goes, "Oh, the show, like, you know Lauren Conrad?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't even like I don't even live in Laguna Beach," but like didn't know her. She was like 5-6 grades above me. So that show was going on. I didn't even know that show was going on when I first was starting to go to school there. And then like next thing you know, it's this huge hit. I'm like, still haven't even watched it to this day because I'm like, I don't even want to be a part of that, like that high end lifestyle because that's not me. I just like get me out of that.
When you were getting recruited out of high school and you chose Saddleback College, was that did you have any other options, or was that what you wanted to go with?
So I think during that time I had some D2s that I was considering because they were like UCSD and a couple others that I'm trying to remember. Mainly UCSD was like my top one, and then Hawaii came out of high school to get me, and I'm not sure what happened, but I don't know what happened. I think something went wrong with the pitching coach who was the recruiter and the head coach. And at that point, like kind of just like talks went dead silent. And then I went to pitch at Saddleback, and then like 3 years later, then Hawaii came back and was interested. But pretty much out of high school, it was just a couple D2s, and then it was Hawaii for a second, and then I decided that junior college is a really good route, saves money, can build my baseball overall ability, and then it really just like helps you grow as a person and a player because we had crazy hours and we would just grind all the time, like JUCO grind to JUCO grind. There's no time limits and stuff like that, so we for sure built you. The JUCO lifestyle built me as a baseball player to this day, for sure.
This isn't a question, but the Orange Empire Conference is probably the coolest name for a conference around.
Great, yeah.
And then it seemed like a lot of players went from Saddleback to Hawaii. Was there what kind of connection was there with that? Did it just kind of happen, or?
Yeah, so I think we all liked the Big West Conference in general. So one of my friends went to Long Beach. Actually, two of my friends, one teammate went to Long Beach. A couple Orange Empire Conference guys went to Fullerton. A couple of them went to Cal Poly. Went to Hawaii. And we just filled that Big West Conference with a bunch of Orange Empire Conference JUCO guys because it was just so close. Everyone loved that conference. Sometimes we couldn't get to those like crazy Pac-12 schools, but Big West is just as good and definitely has just as good a competition. So either way, we were happy to get our ticket into a D1 school and play for a really good conference.
How was your time in Hawaii playing for Hawaii?
Can't complain. In the islands, it's great. Pretty much vacation all the time. Go to school, go to the beach, do whatever you want.
How do they not get every recruit ever? I mean, it's got to be the greatest.
Yeah, it's probably easy going, hey, you want a recruitment trip? Here's a flight to Hawaii.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, probably pretty easy.
Do you go back to Hawaii ever? Or?
I haven't yet, just because it's been so crazy. I was trying to plan some trips, but then I got obviously invited to the Arizona Fall League, so can't really say no to that. But yeah, I was trying to plan a trip back, and then I mean, I guess in a little bit I could go. It's probably pretty cheap now.
Sure.
Yeah, but don't want to make trips anytime soon. But yeah, like prices are pretty cheap. But that's the other thing, is it's pretty expensive to go there normally. So definitely got to plan it out right and make sure that you've got some friends that can help you out on the expense side.
Do you speak any Hawaiian or?
I didn't take any Hawaiian. They actually offered Samoan and some Hawaiian classes, and I decided to go with Spanish because I had done Spanish at high school and junior college, and I thought it would be a little easier to forward it. But a lot of my friends did Samoan that went to Hawaii, and I could not even say a couple words. It's crazy language, super cool though. Really interested in all like the diversity there. They had a bunch of different languages you can take, a lot of interesting ones too.
What's the hardest part about living in Hawaii?
Definitely the fact that you're always living on an island and you're like 6 hour flight away from everyone. It's pretty hard to get friends out because you have to convince them to spend $600 on the flight alone. But pretty much just the fact that you're like, I didn't really have a problem with the islander, but there's some guys that for sure were like, I miss home, I need to get off. So it's like a real thing for sure. But overall, I had no real issues with it because I just kept my mindset on playing baseball. And then when baseball got too much or when things just weren't going away, you can just go to the beach and just relax. So it was overall like pretty good idea for me, and I liked the way it turned out.
You have a favorite Hawaiian food that you eat?
Definitely like me some poke. Definitely like some spam musubi. It's pretty good. A little square of rice with spam slice on top wrapped in a little seaweed. Pretty good.
I'll trust you on that.
Yeah. Spam. Actually, I think at the McDonald's you can get spam.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Not a big spam person, but
spam. I wasn't either, but you can make spam into some interesting ways, and it actually turns out not like the worst thing ever. It's definitely pretty good, and if you make it the right way, you can make some good meals.
Yeah. What exactly is communicology? That was your major at Hawaii.
Communicology, that is the study of communication. It's pretty much just a speech major, but they decided to go with a more, I guess, educational term for it. Pretty much we just learned about all this different things about speech, because you realize that a speech major, you think that you're going to be talking and you're going to be doing all this stuff like video recording and interviews and stuff, but speech major is really like the study of speech. So communicology just revamped that to the point where you're looking at your major going, oh, I'm going to study speech and communication. So we did like nonverbal cues, facial expressions, and all that stuff.
So you graduated from Hawaii, and then you went undrafted, and then the Blue Jays reach out. Was there ever any thought of I'm going to go back to Hawaii and do a graduate year and finish your last year of eligibility, or were you kind of just set on, I'm ready to go?
Yeah, I was like on the fence really because I kind of like hit me like a rock. I was like expecting to get drafted, even if it was like late rounds. I was expecting like a phone call or something because I just thought I like was I thought I was good enough to be drafted, and then didn't happen, and I was just like kind of just like had to like step back and think about it for a little bit. But yeah, I was definitely thinking like there was multiple options. It was go back to Hawaii, which had a good program, had a good team. I love all the guys. Go back, do my final year, start my master's program. I think I could have grad transferred. I didn't really look too much into that because like a day later, 2 days later, the Blue Jays reached out to me, and I just thought this is the best time as ever to try my professional career. But yeah, there was multiple options. I was kind of just like not even any way deciding I'm going this way, I'm going that way. It was like so fresh to me, and I just got a phone call and just kind of just like a switch went on. Said I got to do this, and yeah, definitely glad I did.
What was that transition like from Hawaii and living in California to moving all the way to Bluefield? Uh, different places.
Very different places.
What was that
Bluefield was
like?
interesting. I liked it a lot. I liked the little small town vibe. It was awesome. The fans were great. They were loyal. Yeah, definitely a different scenario. There wasn't any beaches anywhere nearby that I know of. I don't even know where the nearest beach was. Probably like 5-6 hours plus to get there. But no, I liked it. Just went there, did my time. Played baseball like I wanted to. I couldn't really ask for any more. Just wherever baseball's located, I want to play it. So if it's in Bluefield, it's in Bluefield. I'm happy to play. I don't really have any care in the world where it is as long as I'm playing.
You were decent in 2018, and
Mm-hmm.
then 2019 you just became a different human. It seems like you just were unconscious throughout the whole
Yeah,
season.
pretty
What
much.
changed? What changed from 2018 to 2019 for you?
I think the main difference was I decided it wasn't a big change. I don't think it was more of I kind of looked back at myself and said, I've got good stuff. Everyone that's in the minors, especially the Blue Jays, they have good stuff. It's, I think, about trusting your stuff. I know I'm a guy with movement and I've got some late life, so I decided to focus not on changing my mechanics. I decided on changing my direction and how I think about throwing my pitches. So instead of trying to like paint that's like the black on the top or bottom, I decided to just throw it down the middle or in this little circle because I know it's not going to end there since all my stuff have movement. So I decided to, if I throw it in this little middle of this zone, it's going to go somewhere where I want, which would be kind of like the black. So I decided to just directionally throw it to the plate, which sounds so easy and elementary. Just throw a strike. But like for a pitcher, it's way more than just throwing a strike. It's about throwing a good pitch that either has something that you want where it's weak contact, a swing and miss pitch, a pitch that's going to be in the air because sometimes you need a weak pop up to get a guy out, or even a ground ball. You want to set up a double play, you want to get weak contact to get that potential double play. So it's a bunch of different stuff. So for me, with all my movement, which I'm blessed to have, because some guys just wish they would have movement. They would like take some velo off to get movement because it's way harder to hit pitch with movement. I decided to directionally focus on being straight to the plate and throwing all my stuff in the zone, around the zone. So now if a pitch I'm throwing, some of the batters have told me like, oh, I see this pitch, I don't even want to swing at it because it's so nasty or it moves so much and it's still so hard. So I just said, okay, well, I'm not going to make that pitch like someone wants to take it, because now if they take it, it's going to be a strike. And then if they swing at it, they're going to really locate it. They want to hit it with some good contact. So that's kind of like what I kind of just focused on direction and throwing strikes more than work on my nastiness. So
for the people at home that don't know, you finished your final 23.1 innings in Dunedin. You gave up 1 earned run in those 23 innings. And then you improved your Ks per 9 from 9.7 in 2018 to 12.8 in 2019. So you had a good finish to the year as well.
Yeah.
And in that streak of barely any earned runs given up, you grew out kind of like I guess you call it like a superstition beard for you, because you were just keeping with what worked. Do you prefer facial hair Jackson Reese or non-facial hair Jackson Reese?
Baseball wise, for sure, gotta go facial hair Jackson. Definitely. I don't know. It literally seemed every time I would like shave or do something, it literally was like the baseball gods were like shunning me and giving me up. I would give up runs, and it's like obviously that's not correlating, but kind of like it 100% was. So definitely would choose the facial hair on the mound versus clean shaven. I don't know why, but it just seems like that's what was working.
Once the season ended and we got through all of our player awards and all of our team accolades and everything, you kind of turned us into a Jackson Reese fan account. In fact, we even changed our social media to Jackson Reese fan account because of all the cool stuff that you were doing. How nice was it to win minor league pitcher of the year, and how cool was that to even say?
Oh, it's incredible. I can't even put it into words. I was just more shocked with how many, like you guys for sure helped me a ton. And then I looked up when I got the call from the guy that said I won, there was like, I think he said 70,000 people voted, and I got like 50, I don't even know, was it 50 something, 52%? And so that was like, dude, 30,000+ people voted for me. I was like, never in my life have I thought that many people would vote for a baseball award, let alone for me. So I was just like flabbergasted. I don't even know, dumbfounded on the fact that so many people voted for me because of what I did during that season.
We in the office, we definitely made sure to vote every day. We were we're on there grinding for you.
Yeah.
And then it was funny. We when you won, we posted it on social media, and there was this comment, and I can't remember exactly what it says, but it was something along the lines of like, "Guys, we did it," and like it didn't really make any sense to us because like we had no idea who this person was, and like we went back and can you tell us the story of your Reddit stream?
Oh yeah,
that kind of also helped you get some extra votes.
I was like, I've had a Reddit for a while and I don't really use it that much, and I decided that like I just started following some baseball accounts, and then I realized on the baseball account there's a Blue Jays fan club, and so I was like, like how many people are on this? And it was like tons of people. I don't even know how many people were on it, but like tons of people. And I just made my Reddit account, like put my pictures on it, and I was just like, hey, like since we're all Blue Jays fans here and I'm in the Blue Jays organization and I help for this award, like, you guys mind spreading some awareness? I'll do like I think I did like an Ask Me Anything, and got like a ton of comments on that, ton of likes, ton of upvotes, I'm pretty sure, and just it like exploded on that too a little bit. And then I was trying to get my social media on it too. I was just like, this is like the best baseball thing I've ever been, if let alone to win. I was like, I got to try somehow to get this out to all the Blue Jays fans or all the people that just like wanted to vote. Just even if it wasn't for me, I just wanted a lot of people to vote, and hopefully they would choose me. So it was just crazy that I could just reach out to a Reddit Blue Jays group and get that kind of response.
Well, you definitely deserved it for sure. Was there any competition in the bullpen of like when you got guys like Brad Wilson was pitching well, Connor Law was pitching well. Go through the list here. We had Emerson was pitching well towards the end of the season out of the bullpen. Sean Rakowski came up, pitched well out of the bullpen. Mike Ellenbast, Kyle Weatherly has some nasty stuff too. And even Cree Finfrock came in the last game of the year and caught a save.
Yep.
how much competition is there? Like you see like Emerson go out and throw well, and then the next guy comes in. How much is it is like, well, I mean, if these guys are punching guys out, I got to come in and do the exact same thing. I can't let those guys down.
Definitely, it was a little bit of a competition, but not to the competition where it was like, crap, I hate that we all wanted everyone to do well. Like we were all like a rowdy bullpen. One guy would come in and strike out the side, and we would all be like, "Oh, you're nasty!" like yelling from the bullpen, and like everyone seemed to do that when someone else came in. And then obviously when someone didn't do well, or when I didn't do what, like I gave up 5 runs in one outing and luckily they were all unearned. They all had my back, and we all had everyone else's back when they didn't do what they wanted to do. Because everyone obviously wants to go out there, throw shots, throw strikeouts, throw all that stuff. But we all wanted to compete. We all wanted to dominate. We all knew that if we all helped each other off the field, on the field, make sure that like when we're throwing bullpens, we're kind of like watching each other, make sure that like, oh, your foot is maybe opening up too much or all that stuff. So we really wanted to help each other so that we could all compete to our 100% ability, and we could all strike everyone out or all get perfect innings and stuff like that. And we realized that if we could all be at our best, we could eventually win a lot of games, go to the championship, win that championship, and then everyone could potentially get promoted, obviously. So I think having everyone in that kind of mindset of getting each other better in the bullpen was really, really crucial to my success for sure, because I knew that good or bad, they'll have my back, and that they'll try and do the same thing. If I go out there and pitch a good inning, they'll try and do the same thing to keep that win in order, or to keep the runs to a minimum so our offense can then push us back to a win. So it was definitely amazing to see all those guys with all that stuff and all that like funkiness come in there every inning, every game, and just dominate. So it was really fun to watch.
Pretty close clubhouse we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the best Super Smash Bros. Player in that clubhouse? Call somebody out right now.
Definitely
Other than Jackson Reese.
Graham Spraker, pretty good. Hate to admit it, pretty good.
Who's the worst?
Oof. I'm gonna throw him under the bus. I'm gonna say Connor Law. Definitely, he tried.
You could have went with me.
Don't want to do that to you.
And Matt's got a this or that for you. We're gonna play a little this or that with California and Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so you spent some time here in the GCL. You spent some time in Dunedin. We got to know, Florida beaches or California beaches?
California beaches.
California.
Biased. Very biased.
Better tacos. Who has the better tacos? I've heard they have a mean taco over there in California. Everywhere you go, they have a mean taco. What did you think about the tacos here in Florida? Florida or California tacos?
I don't think I've had too many like authentic tacos in Florida. So I guess I'm going to say again, California, a very big bias, but we have some great Mexican food over here. It's kind of hard to beat that, even no matter where you go. So.
Yeah, you know, I've heard San Diego has some really good tacos.
Oh, fantastic.
You get a mean street taco. You get a mean street taco there.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Disneyland or Disney World?
I would love to go to Disney World. Not been there yet.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get out there, man. Next time you come down here and it opens back up, you got to head over here to Florida first to experience Disney.
Yeah. Before I went to spring training and got sent home, we actually went to Disneyland like a week before I left. So kind of easy how we got to Disneyland, and then this whole pandemic went down. So like happy I could have gone to Disneyland, but it could have been a little bit worse. We would have waited. But definitely want to check out Disney World because Disneyland just opened that new Star Wars, and I was actually pretty excited about that. Did they do one in Disney World?
I think they did.
Yeah, and they got I think they have the Harry Potter world.
Yeah, gotta check that out
over here. I don't know if it's Universal. I think.
Oh.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the better weather? Which weather do you prefer? California sunny day or a Florida sunny day?
California sunny day, no humidity. Gotta love the no humidity.
Who has the better nightlife? Florida, downtown Dunedin, or California over there?
I think Dunedin will take that one. I think we have some good ones. Huntington and Newport are always fun. But Florida it's always nice because in California it actually gets cold at night, and Florida just seems to just stay warm. So it's definitely fun to go out at night. You have to really like bundle up when you go out, and it kind of feels like a good warm night, which always appreciated.
And then finally, I've asked a couple other guys this: California traffic or Florida traffic?
Oh, both are so bad. Both are terrible. Well, I'm saying California because the Florida lights are the worst thing I've ever experienced.
So true.
Like 5 minutes for one to change.
And then you get stuck at another one a couple of miles.
Exactly. What is that? I don't get it.
They're not synced up in any way, so you're just.
Yeah. I think me and Sean Rakowski were going home one day, and we were waiting for a turn, and I think every other light turned green 3 times before ours even turned green. Sitting there for legitimately 12 minutes waiting for this left turn to go green. Just sitting in the car on our way home from baseball. Just mind was blown how long we waited.
So we also have a couple of fan questions here. Nathan Carlson, he would love to know your favorite place to eat well in Dunedin. We have a lot of great places that are still open during the pandemic, doing delivery and takeout and all that kind of stuff. So we want to know what Jackson Reese's favorite place to eat in Dunedin is.
My go-to is at home plate, right next to the field. Couldn't go wrong there. I went home plated up. I do like Moe's. I don't think there's Moe's in California, or at least not in my area. So whenever I go to Moe's, that's just great. The chipotle sauce on that what do they call it? What's the bowl? Earmuff?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't go to Moe's too much, man. I got my heart set on Pearlie's right down the street from.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Or Juan's is another good one.
Juan.
Yeah, I definitely have to explore more restaurants, so I'm not like the most qualified. But home plate was one we all went to in the mornings before we went to the field. So I definitely home plate's got a special spot.
Cindy's great, and she really makes all the baseball players feel like they're eating in their own house, and
Exactly.
You've got some great food and great hospitality over there across the street from the stadium. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
And then we got Doug Fox wanted to congratulate you on a fantastic 2019 season. He saw you in Lansing in April. You were lights out. Can you tell us about developing your slider? How long it took, and who helped you along the way in developing that?
So the slider was a work in progress like anything else. Just the longer you throw it, the more feel you have, and the more feel you have, the better it ends up being, in my opinion. So I used to throw it like a really high 3/4 slot, like way over the top. And I started throwing like a Mariano Rivera cutter. And so that was like one of my better pitches junior college saddleback, and it really had that late that I loved, and it got a lot of ground balls, like a ton of double plays. And then when I went to Hawaii, I think going into my second year, my coach Mike DePrasto told me to go like a 3/4 slot, which I am now, and he threw the same pitch, that same little cutter, and that has turned into my slider. And it's just one of those things where I said it's a field. So it was so comfortable because it feels like fastball, but with the low arm slot and the way I'm throwing it, I kind of have a last ditch effort to get it to slide a little bit more. The thing about my slider is just the fact that it's a field pitch. It feels like I'm throwing a fastball. I throw it like a ball. I don't try and slow it down. I just try and make that it's like I'm gripping and ripping it kind of thing, and just trying to get the extension that I want. And 100%, just the more I've thrown it, the better I feel I've had for it. So that's been the part for that slider and developing it for sure.
And Richard Mackey writes, what are your goals for next season? You got any big goals when the season starts up? What are the big goals for Jackson Reese?
Hopefully that starts up soon. Go a little stir crazy. Definitely try and get back to where I was last year. Try and keep ferocity, whatever you would want to say. Just try and make sure that I'm back to that point where I'm just feeling like I'm coming on the mat again, getting all my pitches working, adding some other pitches, if possible change up, and trying to get my curveball in there more often. So coming in there with weapons, sure that I'm back to my mound presence that I was, and just even have a remote as good a season as last year would be perfect for me.
Yep, and then I have one more question for you, because Andrew, you alluded to it earlier, a little bit earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt Andrew in that, but what was it like when the Jays called? You went undrafted and the Jays called, and was it what was going through your mind when you picked up the phone and they're like, hey, it's the Blue Jays? Well, take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Jim Lentine called me, and he made sure that I was just okay, because he was talking to me during the draft saying, would you go through with this? Would you want to get drafted? And I was saying yes, yes, yes to all the teams, and didn't happen. Then he really made sure that I was he was very sensitive with me, because obviously it wasn't like the best time. But then the idea of actually being picked up and playing for a major league team was just such a weight lifted off my shoulder. I felt like I just had the weight of the world on me. I was like, okay, baseball career might be over. I have to go back to college, or I have to go. I think one of the teams is trying to get me to try out again. I was I feel like I've proved myself, and it was nice to know that they had watched me, that maybe the cards weren't right for me to get drafted, but at least saw me enough to where they thought that I still was worth a shot. And I was definitely very grateful that they actually did take a shot on me. So it's definitely high and low for sure, but overall it was a very good, solid experience, and that's why I like playing for the Blue Jays so much.
And a kid from Saddleback College all the way to MiLB Relief Pitcher of the Year, fan vote. We really appreciate you taking some time to sit down with us today. We know that there's a kind of a delay here because you're 3 hours behind us, but really appreciate you sitting down with us today and taking some time. And if you'd like to say anything to the fans out there who are, if you'd like to say a few words to the fans, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to say thank you for always watching me, and really appreciate all the votes that I got during that time, and really just want to be able to say hi to guys when the games start going up again, and give you guys some autographs. You guys are why we play the game, and really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jackson. We really appreciate you sitting down with us for Jays talking a little baseball and everything, and we really appreciate you. Andrew and Matt signing off with Jackson Reese. We hope you guys all stay safe, take it easy, and more importantly, wash your hands. We'll be back soon, and hopefully with baseball soon as well. Take it easy, Jackson. Have a good one. Andrew, everybody, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to Jays Talkin'.